I recently started playing Elden Ring. I'm getting the shit kicked out of me, but all the bosses led me to thinking, hey, Fnaf has boss fights too, right? Well, kinda, I guess, but which one is best? Let's take a look at the contenders and decide. I'll rank them from worst to best after I take a look at each one. However, first, please like and subscribe because it would help me out a ton. Thank you. Now, the first tricky question we face is actually deciding what a FNAF boss is. If you don't wanna talk about why I consider these guys bosses, then jump onto this timestamp. But hey, no problem if you stick around. Please. In Mario, the big guy that you have to jump on 3 times is obviously the boss, but in FNAF, it's a bit more difficult. So here are my suggestions. I'll quickly go over them and why I think they are quote-unquote a boss, and then after begin the actual reasoning. First up, from Five Nights at Freddy's 4, Nightmare and Nightmare Fredbear. They're both really the same thing, however, because Nightmare is the bigger baddie, I'll choose him and toss this toddler-biting bastard to the side. I consider Nightmare a boss because, well, he's the only one active on his night, and he has significantly more tricks up his sleeve than Blowout Bunny and Triplet Dad Freddy. Beating this slightly transparent bulldog is an achievement worthy of getting another star on the main menu. Yippee! In sister location, we have Ennard, who faces you in a 1v1 in the private room. If you lose, he shakes his head really angrily. He's a combination of the previous goobers in the game fused into one. And this night is very hard because the power the game gives you leaves you with very little room for error. So yeah, this bozo clown is what I'd call the final boss of sister location, even if the fight is not canon. Help wanted, I guess glitch trap? Look, we're really stretching the definition of boss here, but I want more than like 3 guys to rank at the end, so this creepy thing will have to do. There's technically 2 boss fights. The first one is the pizza party minigame, where you go through a maze of the various locations you were playing in throughout the game, meanwhile trying to avoid things like Walking Bonnie and Mangle. You get to inform the game about your cake and pizza tastes, and at the end, the Bunny Man takes you to your doom, where you turn into Freddy Fazbear. However, there's also another ending where you do this. You flip some switches and push some buttons. Yep, sure showed him. I'll consider this guy a boss because you ultimately sort of try to fight him, and he is a looming threat over the course of the game by staring at you in the main menu, as well as the fact that he leads to the actual endings of the game, so I'm gonna consider it a boss. But good luck in the ranking, buddy. Sick design though. Then we have FNAF Security Breach, and this one is obvious. Burn Trap. Or if you are a nerd, yes, technically it's the Mimic. I guess the Monty fight could be considered a boss fight, but the final bosses only. Anyway, after having WWE fights with Chica, Roxy, and Monty, harvesting their organs and performing a transplant on Freddy, you can visit the underground, go to the FNAF 6 pizzeria, and battle against this corpse. But Ruin is a special case because at the end, we see the Mimic and we just have a short chase scene. Is this really a boss fight? It's debatable, but I'll include it so I don't get a tryhard FNAF fan yelling at me in the comments. All the other games, FNAF 1, 2, 3, Pizza Simulator, UCN, and Help Wanted 2 don't have final bosses. If you disagree, that's your problem. So you still paying attention? I hope so. My viewer attention has been very good lately. I need to insert more brain rot humor, don't I? Now that we know a little about our candidates, let's start ranking them. I'll talk about why they rank where they rank, and if you disagree, feel free to tell me in the comments. We'll go through them in chronological order, and I'll tell you where I'd rank him after each one. So, how about we just begin? First up is Nightmare. He appears in Night 7, in the Nightmare Night, as well as the hidden 2020-2020 night. From 4 AM onward, he replaces every other animatronic. It's just you and him, and there is not enough room in this entire house for the 2 of you. You need to listen to which of the halls he is in and close the door on him. Make sure not to look at his beautiful face for too long though. He'll show you a close-up, making you lose the night. He's a beefed-up version of Nightmare Fredbear. Occasionally he will laugh, signaling that he is inside your room, either on the bed or in the closet. just go and flash him. Now, unlike his golden brethren, when Nightmare laughs, there is a chance it's fake and he does not actually go into your room. Hey, doesn't that make that a pretty miserable experience that makes the night more of a guessing game? And to that I have to say, yes. Sometimes, yes. Nightmare has a pretty cool design. It's a recolor of Nightmare Fredbear, but a little translucent. His renders are creepy, especially because you can only see them for a fraction of a second before you get jump scared. His jump scare is a still image with some weird static that has been theorized to be the illusion discs from the Twisted Ones novel. So yeah, the sort of boss fight is pretty cool. However, it is something we have seen before with Nightmare Fredbear, just more difficult. Also, Nightmare Fredbear was a big deal because it's Fredbear. We only saw him in 8-bit form up to that point, and seeing a Nightmare version of him was just really cool, as well as with what followed the boss fight. But I feel like Nightmare just didn't have the impact Nightmare Fredbear did, but Nightmare is going at the top, and the bottom too, at least until the next ranking. So next, we have Ennard, and to be more exact, his boss fight. In order to get it, you need to do this 8-bit minigame and give Elizabeth an ice cream. And kill her. When you do that, go to night 5. And when baby tells you to go left, you say fuck that and just go to the right instead, leading you to the private room. This does not make Circus Baby / Ennard at this point very happy, so you engage in a duel. You have 2 doors and a vent you can close. Meanwhile, Ennard tries to get in. You have a very limited amount of power. That's why it's optimal to listen for Ennard's movement and using the camera sparingly, mainly to see if he is in position to enter your office or if he is gone. Meanwhile, you are trying to survive, Ennard is trying to gaslight and guilt trip you into giving up. However, yeah, this night is really tough, but if you beat it, you get to go home. Yippee! And it looks like you brought in a little friend. Seeing Ennard crawling into your living room is pretty cool. However, it kind of gets rid of the whole point of actually, beating Ennard, since he comes in and kills you anyway. But yeah, this whole fight is not canon. And I understand that the normal ending is the actual ending and this was just for fun, but it does kinda suck that this big kaboom one-off with Ennard just is not canon. However, I still think it's a fun fight, and for a game that's very out there like Sister Location, that has a bunch new mechanics and does not follow the formula of the older games at all, it's nice to have a classic Fnaf section in the game, where you have to fend off enemies and manage your power. I think Ennard is going above Nightmare, and that is because even though Ennard fight isn't canon, at least it's something really unique, unlike Nightmare who is a buffed Fredbear. So because Ennard is something more original in this game, even though he isn't canon, I'm gonna rank him above Nightmare. And that leads us to Glitch Trap. Oh boy, this is a tricky one. I will count the pizza party game and the sequence where you have to defend yourself from getting your body taken away over him, or whatever he does. So in the pizza party minigame, we walk through a weird twisted version of previous locations, while we tell the game our cake and pizza preferences. It's pretty cool to be in the places you're not usually in, like for example the outside of the office and next to the big window in Fazbear Frights. However, you're supposed to climb into the vents to find Glitch Trap. Meanwhile, this creepy dickhead tries to instruct you. In the end, you see him trying to lure you backstage, forcing you to sing those same old stupid songs all day and never get a bath, just like Phone Guy says. All that, meanwhile, he hits a jig in the background. There is also the one where you download the weird Five Nights at Glitch Traps game No Virus from Mediafire and he tries to hack you. You need to pull some switches and there you go. But uh-oh, looks like Glitch Trap locked you in this room. So I know it's a stretch to call this a boss fight, but it's a stretch to call my videos entertaining. But here I am. I'm gonna stick this guy onto the bottom, unfortunately. He is a cool character for sure, but well, the pizza party section, although cool, doesn't feature a lot of him. He's just there at the end to serve you a hot pepperoni pie of ending. There's no cool thing where you defend yourself from him. And as for this, well, you do technically face off against him. All you do is press buttons and switches, and it's pretty lame. Cool character, lame boss. Next up is Burn Trap, or again, if you're a nerd, the Mimic. I say Burn Trap, okay? If we demolish these goobers and upgrade our epic bear mech, we can access this weird elevator. Upon going down and going through a weird cave that looks like something out of Subnautica, we reach the Fnaf 6 pizzeria. We keep going down and we see something come out of one of those recharge stations. The man, the myth, the legend that should be dead by now, but oh wait, he might actually be William Afton. So we are in this room that we cannot exit with Freddy Fazbear. There's 3 monitors, and when Burntrap is trying to hack Freddy, we need to burn him with these buttons. Also, if we get inside Glamrock Freddy while he is tweaking, we die. Sounds simple, right? Well, he also sends the 3 corpses we mangled after us. First up, Glamrock Chica. You close the door, she slowly walks away in defeat. There's also Monty who crawls through the vent. Close it. And then there's the biggest bitch of these, Roxy. Roxy will come into your room, and because you gave her a botched eye surgery, she cannot see. So she will run around the room trying to catch you, and it's really annoying. Pair that up with these tentacles. No, not these. These. After you burn Burntrap a few times, you win. And this cool cutscene plays. What do I think of this boss fight? I'll be honest, it's more tedious than anything. The worst culprit of all is Roxy. Thankfully, there is a way to beat her. Use Chica's voice box. Now, I didn't know this when I was first beating the boss fight, so I just ran around and did what Freddy told me to, which is to hide. This does not work, and the Chica voice box mechanic up to that point has only been used to open doors. This is bullshit. Why couldn't you have given one hint? While the ending cutscene is pretty eventful, the boss fight in itself, I don't think it's fun. The main antagonist up to that point is not even here. Also, the stupid tentacles have fucked up hitboxes, and they make dealing with Roxy, which the game does not give you any hints on how to deal with, an absolute nightmare. I am fucking fuming because just now I figured out about the voice box Roxy thing, and it would have made my life a lot easier. To deal with the tentacles, apparently you have to get inside Freddy, and they magically go away. The fuck? Big shout out to Stop Drop, because this video is golden, and actually explained how to beat the boss fight. What sucks is that the game doesn't tell you anything, and the fight itself is lame, it's tedious. I'm sorry, but it's going to the bottom of the list, because of poorly explained game mechanics, as well as just not being fun. I think it says a lot when people quicker find glitches, like putting Freddy in front of the door and hiding in the corner. They find those glitches on how to beat the fight quicker than they find out how to actually beat it the intended way. I don't just want to parrot this video, so I recommend you to watch it. It's very funny. So, here is our list so far. Yeah, it's not looking too good. Kinda makes you think that FNAF boss fights aren't a good idea. Or just they aren't executed very well. I don't know, I think the Endor fight is pretty cool. There is definitely some way you could make FNAF boss fights an actual, fun thing. Now, time for Ruin. Here we have the Mimic, future antagonist of Five Nights at Freddy's Secrets of the Mimic. It's a chase sequence. You run, do a puzzle, and it's over. And there's another secret passage, plus one where the Mimic wears a costume. This is going above Glitch Trap. It's not stupid. It's just a basic chase sequence. Like, nothing much more to talk about. It's sorta lame. But hey, maybe Secrets of the Mimic will have a cool boss fight at the end. We can only hope. So, this is the ranking. Do you agree? Tell me in the comments. What is your favorite FNAF boss fight? Also, are there any cool ones from like FNAF fan games? I'm curious. Congratulations to Anod for winning my respect. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.